Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Civ 5. We are at a pretty important juncture here, or we will be soon. We have railroad coming in one turn. We're going to start building Neuschwanstein. We have World Congress coming up in 3 turns, and if we can... We have 8 votes right now against 7, presumably, of the enemy. We can enact Zoroastrianism as the world religion. We also have the chance to ban incense, but I don't know if we're going to have the votes for that. Because I'm thinking, would they devote all their votes to the religion one? Could I not get by with maybe, like, would they put some votes toward that? I don't know. We shall see. Anyway, so, yeah, that's where we are, and Babylon has some dissidents, huh, good thing it's not us. Egypt is pumping out the happiness, look at that, 50, wow. Anyway, the biggest threat that we have in terms of a victory scenario is Egypt winning a cultural victory, but... it seems a long way off because Babylon is actually pumping out a lot of culture. I went over this 2 videos ago. Babylon's pumping out a lot of culture, so Egypt will have to really up its tourism to have make any kind of progress there. Egypt is already influential over us, though, which is not good, but not too much can be done about it right now. So, one of my viewers and a Let's Player herself, Kaidrusha, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Kiderusha, Kiderusha or Kaidrusha, has pointed out like 4 videos ago that I haven't put a fishing boat on this, and it was would have been very helpful when I was in negative happiness. It probably would have kept me positive the whole time, but I'm a dope and didn't notice it. Argos is still puppeted, so I can't actually build a workboat there, so I think I may build one in Athens here after the public school is finished. I'll actually build 2 in Athens because Argos is working the fish too over there, so I need one for the pearls, one for the fish. And that was just a complete oversight of my fault. I think I didn't see it up there because I don't know why I didn't see it. I don't know, but I didn't see it. And she pointed it out like 4 videos ago and every video since then, and I just totally... In fact, there was even one, I think, where I commented like, oh yeah, I'll have to look for that, and the next time I played, I completely forgot and went the whole play session without it. So anyway, turn 480 looks like we're done here. We're going to pick it up now, turn 481, and we'll be getting railroad. And at some point I am going to take Argos because we can build a pagoda there. I mean, not take it, but, annex it.
The introduction of so powerful an agent as steam to a carriage on wheels will make a great change in the situation of man.
Excellent. Additional trade route, too. Ooh. Gadzooks, you're done exploring. Put you right there, I think. And you... what's another critical waterway that we could put you in? Maybe we'll put you, like, right there. I don't really know what to do with frigates once they're, ships once they're done exploring. I'm kind of like, oh, if there's no war on them, I'm like, oh, I don't know, just sit in a major waterway and watch things, I guess? I don't know. Right, so where the hell did this Gatling gun? I must have just, was this a gift from somebody? Belgrade, giving me a new unit. Okay. Gatling gun gets a promotion. Rough, what the hell? I don't know where I'm going to stick you, though. Come down here, just for the shit of it. Okay, so we have railroad now. I want to get my workers cracking on building railroad to there. You start building a railroad to, say, here. No, wrong way, dude. You're going the wrong... Okay, well, whatever. You start building a railroad to here. Seriously, though, that worker went the wrong way, right? I told him to come down here, and he went, oh. Probably some union boss somewhere. It's like, nah, you're going up there. Alright, just do what he says. Okay, so, let's see. Okay, so we've got flight, which I actually haven't done anything with yet. It's a damn shame. I should have been on that, too. I gotta get archaeology at some point, because I gotta get biology, so I have oil. So I'm starting to get into units that will need oil, and I don't know where any of it is. And I want to get electricity, too. I think now is the time to play catch-up. Because these next upgrades to units in ballistics and combustion aren't really critical at the moment. And in fact, even to do one of them, I require oil, so I better, yeah. Let's do this. Then we'll do, what should we do then? Probably oil first. Stock exchange would be useful. No, we'll do oil, then electricity. Oh, god damn it. So if I hit control, I don't know why it switches to it. I'm telling it. Okay, well, whatever. We can always go to electricity after we get biology. Right, okay. Persepolis is switching to Neuschwanstein, which will give us +2 happiness, +4 culture, which is nifty, +6 gold, great merchant point. And then every castle will provide 3 gold, 2 culture, and 1 happiness. Now, we do already have Machu Picchu built on that mountain, and that's the only mountain within 2 tiles. So I assume Neuschwanstein is going to be right next door, but I'll be interested to see if Neuschwanstein supersedes Machu Picchu and takes its place, or if Machu Picchu will stay there and we just won't see Neuschwanstein. I don't know. Okay. World Congress. Yeah, what should I get another ally, maybe? Just have another vote in my pocket. They'd give me Wales, but I already have Wales from Belgrade. These guys would give me sugar. Sugar! But I need more influence to become their ally. Oh, I only need another 14. How much do I need to become Ormus's ally? 5. So what if I do Sofia? I want to do Sofia, I think, because they have sugar, which is a... yeah, I don't have sugar currently. I do have whales, though, so a second whale won't do me any good. Sorry, Ormus. What do I have to give him a gift? How much do I need? 14. So I'd have to give him a 500 gold. Ooh, that's gonna... I will not have much gold left. But I think I want the vote. Let's do it. Whoa, they got a ton of dudes. Look at that. Holy crap, they got a bigger army than me. Bigger military than me, I mean. Wow. Jesus, Sophia, what the hell's your deal? Okay, so we'll progress then to 482, I think. So yes, the long-term plan here is to over time, build a navy and an air force, and take the fight to Egypt, because they're the biggest threat right now in terms of victory. And then if we can dispose of Egypt, we will then try to dispatch Babylon shortly after, I think. And of course, for a domination victory, we only have to take their capitals, so we could just go after Thebes and Babylon. Taking Thebes would significantly weaken Egypt. I mean, that would make them I'm assuming they have another city like here-ish, but that would make them a non-entity, I think. So then we could just focus on Babylon, who has this, Nippur, and probably one other city here. Because it's telling me that there's 2 aircraft stationed here. That's kind of cheating, but... So in terms of cities, I've got them beat. In terms of population, though, they have pretty thick cities. 25, 19, 26 there. My capital's at 18. So the top 2 cities in Babylon are bigger than any one of my cities. By a significant amount. Anyway, Sargade loves us because we got sugar. Nifty. 2 more turns till we get that public school so we can start working on fishing boats. And the World Congress comes up in 1 turn. We'll have 9 votes against potentially 7. We'll see how that plays out. Alright, here goes. To the World Congress, then. Oh, yes. Yeah, you just chill. Next. Let's see. I don't have a diplomat in either capital, do I? So I won't be able to know what their votes are. I have spies there, but that doesn't do me any good, I don't think. 22 turns till Neuschwanstein. Oh, never mind. I was going to say, I thought this maybe, for a second, I thought Neuschwanstein was available because we took, what did we take? Order or autocracy? Autocracy. But it's not. The Kremlin is the wonder that becomes available there. So Neuschwanstein is actually available to everyone, so I wonder if we'll make it 22 turns. Questionable. Assigning delegates. Do not share an ideology. Do not have a spy as a diplomat in their castle, so we have no idea what they're going to do. We have the same ideology, so we have some idea of what they're going to do. They will vote nay on world religion. They will vote nay on repeal incense. Oh, okay. So, they would have to put at least 1 nay vote into ban luxury. Right? At least 1, if we know that they're going to vote nay. So that would mean they only have 2 to devote to Zoroastrianism. So 2, let's say because we don't know anything about Babylon, right? Maybe Babylon puts all 4 of theirs towards voting nay against Zoroastrianism. So that would be 4 plus potentially 2. So that would mean we would need 7 votes for this. And if we put 2 votes to this, that gives us a chance. Gives us a chance to repeal the luxury ban on incense. I don't know. Surely the vote is, he's putting 2 in 1 vote, or 2 in 1 proposal and 1 in another proposal, right? Just a matter of which one he's voting 2 votes on. And then of course we don't know what Babylon's doing, so 2 votes may not be enough, but still, gives us a shot. I wonder if we could get by on 6. That'd be risking it, though. I would be, if I was going to go with 6 on voting for Zoroastrianism, I'd be betting that Babylon is going to put at least 1 vote in voting nay on the repeal. This is less important to me than this. I want to get the world religion, so let's stick with 7 votes there. And I'm hoping that this is the smart thing I'm doing here. Maybe I need to do 8 votes here, but I think I'm okay. I'm going to go with it. Yep. And without further ado, we will move on then. Public school coming up in one turn in Athens. Bump our science up some more, that's good. And we're pumping out 100 gold per turn, pretty much. We need to get some more trade routes, perhaps. You, my Gatling gun friend, can just sit there and watch things. Oh, shit, I have more workers that should be building railroads. God damn it. I went halfway through my workers and then gave up. Damn it. Ah, okay. Well, I was right about not needing all my votes to pass. I only needed 5 votes. Ah, shit. But still. I own 5 and 3. Damn. 5 votes there would have won that. 2 more votes there would have won that. Ah, oh well. I had no way of knowing that. How many? 3 for nay for Babylon? Wait, I thought Egypt was going to vote nay on that. My diplomat must not... my knowledge of their voting habits because of autocracy must not be that reliable then. Because they put all their votes in voting nay against the religion. So, that was a gamble then. I gambled a little bit more than I thought I did. I was relying on that forecast. Okay, what was your previous route to Antananarivo? Well, I have a world religion. How about that? That's freaking awesome. I did not even know that. What does this do? Oh, okay. Okay. How you can sort, I guess. Should I go to Belgrade? Should I send... Oh no, wait, you are Pasargadae. I was going to say, should I send production to Pasargadae? But this is Pasargadae. Belgrade, I think. Sure, 1 extra gold, what the hell. Adds up, that's 30 gold over 30 turns, right? Okay, so Athens has finished that. Let's have you build, really quick, a couple of workboats. And do it again, actually. There we go. Oh, okay, so we enacted world religion. Its effects are now active. I'd like to see what that actually does again. Sorry. Designate a religion as the official world religion. Civilizations who have a majority of the cities in their empire following the religion get an additional 2 delegates. Oh, yes! The religion spreads 25% faster, and its holy city receives 50% more tourism. There can only be 1 world religion at a time. Sweet. They're never going to repeal that. I wonder if I couldn't get a diplomatic victory. Make myself a world leader. But anyway, let's not... Okay, so we get to pick another... Let's try to... Should we repeal this again? See what else there is, I guess. Already in effect, the World's Fair. International Games. No civilization has research radio. Space Station. No... Okay. Okay, these are all... beyond our reach, I guess. Already in effect. Okay. Historical landmark. Provide +2 culture when worked. Landmarks built by archaeologists provide +4 culture when worked. Why would Egypt be upset by that? They're going for the cultural victory. Sciences funding. That we could pass easily, because Babylon would support it. Natural wonder provides +5 culture when work. That doesn't do me any good. Each world wonder provides +3 culture to its city. That would be great for me, but it would also be good for Egypt, so I should consider that carefully. Civilization's research and technology 20% more quickly if it has been discovered by at least 1 other civilization. Babylon would not like that. Standing army tax. No, don't want that. Ban luxury, don't care. Embargo... I could embargo Egypt, I bet. Should I try that? Click. Oh, okay. I guess I wasn't even right. Embargo Egypt? That would piss off Egypt, but they're already pissed off, and I could totally pass it too. I mean, I could pass it easily. Babylon would probably be for it. No, maybe I don't want to embargo Egypt because I have trade routes with Egypt, and that's providing me gold. And if I don't trade with them, then I can only trade with Babylon and city-states. That's considerably less gold. Never mind. Should reconsider that. I think maybe science is funding. Or a repeal on arts funding? Yeah, I think maybe repeal that. Repeal arts funding. Yes. Go. That'll piss off Egypt, and it'll get our engineers and great merchants and stuff going back at 100%. Okay. Not that we have a lot of them in the works, but well, how many do we have? Nobody's contributing points there. Don't have any specialists. We get 1 point there for merchant. 2 points for science. Okay, so it's pretty slow in Athens. Nothing doing in Sparta. Knossos, great merchant, we have 2. Okay, so not much going there. Persia, Persepolis rather. +2, +3. Nothing for engineer, I guess, huh? We get a city bonus there, and the World Congress penalty is hitting us a little bit. Okay. Sargade, what about you? Ooh. Yeah, actually, you're going pretty well here on scientist. Okay, so that does help us a little bit. Not terribly much, but a little bit. World religion was passed, and banning luxury was not passed. Repealing, rather. Okay, advancing. So, you guys will remember that when I first started this LP, I said that I wanted to do it because I had... Oh. Dude, I just did a jerking off motion. You guys didn't see that, but that's what I did when I went... Because that's what I'm doing to Ramses there. I'm like, eat it, bud. When I first started this LP, I said that I was doing it, kind of with a historical basis. Not actually being historical, but with the idea that we would take a historical scenario, the Persians versus the Greeks, and then kind of recreate it. Or reenact it, without necessarily being historical in the reenactment. And I think I mentioned that the reason that I wanted to do that was because... Oh, God, I forgot my goddamn workers. Because of reading Herodotus' histories, right? So, in Herodotus' histories, he actually... It's all... it's all storytelling, right? It's... if you've ever read it, he talks about kings and generals and cities and city-states and Persia versus the Greeks, and mentions all these things, and it's not boring, but it's very academic, and it's very structured, and it's, he tells stories, but the stories are very, this man went here and did this, and that pissed off this dude, and this dude came out with his army, and they fought here, and so many men died, and that kind of thing. So there's not much humor in it. So I was reading it because it was interesting, but I wasn't reading it because it was necessarily entertaining, I guess is what I'm saying. So here, I'll skip to the next turn while I talk here. So then, I come to this part of the book, and I've got it right here. In my version, it's page 134. I don't know where. It was paragraph 162 of book 2. So if you ever wanted to look it up yourself, you can. Okay, so I got to finish workbook. I'll get to that in a second. Finish workboat. Let's put him on the pearls. Let's get there in 3 turns. Otherwise, carry on, I think. Yes, courthouse there in 1 turn. That's good. So, I think I mentioned... Oh, Route 2 cancelled. Yeah, of course it's cancelled, you dope, because I told you to come down here. to there. That's what I said. In ancient times, if you've read Gibbon, right? Edward Gibbon, who wrote The Rise and Fall of the Roman Empire. No, I'm sorry, take that back. The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. I should get the title right, I guess. That's important. And in it, he talks about of course, the latter days of the Roman Empire, where there was Caesar in Rome, and then, of course, there were generals out in the field with their legions, and they were marching here and there and conquering this person, kicking this person's ass, and then as the empire progressed, things kind of started to implode a little bit. But every time that you had a Caesar who was not popular, an emperor who was not popular, this is the way that things happened back then, and this was common outside of Rome too. If you've read Gibbon or any other histories of the ancient world, or the classical world, I guess, you would recognize this as being a norm. You'd have a general out in the field with his army, and you'd have a really unpopular Caesar unpopular emperor at home, or an unpopular king at home. And the army would be fed up with dealing with the orders from the emperor. Either the emperor wasn't paying him enough, or wasn't giving them it was putting them in too dangerous a situation where they thought they were going to die. Oh, damn it, I can steal archaeology. I'm going to get it in 3 turns. Well, Azi. So it wasn't Shazad this time. From Babylon. Well, I guess it saves me 3 turns. I shouldn't snub my nose at it. Fine.
Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it.
Where we got sites? There. And there. Okay, so 2 alerts for the same site? That can't be right. Is there not another one? Maybe I'm not seeing it. No? Maybe I got 2 alerts for the same site. So anyway, if the emperor was really unpopular with the soldiers, it was very common for there's one. For the soldiers to proclaim, without ever consulting with him, if he was very popular, they would proclaim their general the new emperor. They'd say, "Hail Caesar," and the general would be like, "Ah, fuck." Sometimes the general wanted to be Caesar. Azi's been promoted, that's good. Azi discovered that a Babylonian army with naval escorts is currently sailing toward your city of Athens to launch a surprise attack. Where? Like, is this it? A privateer and artillery? I'd like to see that happen, actually. Nebuchadnezzar is secretly plotting against me. Yep. So the army would Antananarivo seeks a great engineer. The army would crown their general Caesar. So then you have a Caesar at home, an emperor at home, and you have an emperor to be in the field. And so oftentimes the general actually kind of wanted the army to crown him Caesar, and so he wouldn't really protest. Other times he would protest when the army proclaimed him Caesar, and the army would be like, "Well, fuck you, who do you think you are? Like, we say you're Caesar, that means you're Caesar." So it was kind of like in a general's best interest not to... I mean, here's these thousands of armed men who are telling him he's Caesar. If he tells them no, they're going to be pissed off about it. That's one thing. 2 is Caesar, or the emperor back in Rome, once he hears that your troops have declared you Caesar, it doesn't really matter so much if you back down and say, no, I don't want this. It's just my soldiers. I really didn't want to be Caesar. Caesar is going to protect his ass, and he's going to kill you because you are now perceived as a challenger to him. Even if you didn't really want to be declared Caesar, you're a challenger to him. So for those 2 reasons, one, you got thousands of armed dudes telling you that you're Caesar, and you don't want to tell them no because that'll piss them off. And 2, if Caesar hears that you're a pretender to the throne, he's going to kill you whether you tell him that you meant it or not. So you might as well mean it. So for the general in the field, once the army says that you should be the new emperor, you don't really have a choice. Even if you didn't want to be the emperor, you kind of have to go along with it because you're going to be killed anyway if you don't. So you might as well shoot for it, right? So I mentioned in an earlier video that Persia, at the time that it invaded Greece, had conquered Egypt previously. And the reason that Darius was not able to lead the invasion of Greece himself was because he had to put down an insurrection in Egypt. and so he ended up dying during the insurrection, and his son Xerxes took over, and then he's the one that led the invasion against Egypt. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, we're going to start building naval units here, so maybe we want a seaport for now. So it was Xerxes. So anyway, all that background serves for me to tell you what this story is in Herodotus, which is he's telling a story about Egypt, and this is Egypt before it's been conquered by the Persians. So this is Egypt pre-Persian Empire, or if it is the Persian Empire, they haven't yet set out on too many extraterritorial conquests. So he calls him the king of Egypt, but of course it's the pharaoh. The king of Egypt, and then there's this general out in the field with his army. And if you'll forgive me, I'm going to read this, so I'm going to kind of stop the gameplay for a minute. Sorry, I take that back. There's the pharaoh. His name is Apries, A-P-R-I-E-S. And there's this army out in the field that the pharaoh has sent. He sent them south on the Nile, basically upriver, to fight some army down in Kush or something like that, south of Egypt. And the soldiers are on the march. They're riding up the Nile, or they're marching along the Nile, along the banks of the Nile, whatever. And for whatever reason, it comes to their attention that they think that this mission they're being sent on is a suicide mission. They think there's no way we're going to beat these guys. We're going into unfriendly territory. We've never fought there before. We don't know what to expect. We're going to get our asses kicked, right? I really want to build a satrap's court, but I think I want to build a workshop first. Yeah, let's do a workshop first. So this army in the field mutinies and starts marching back to the pharaoh's palace, basically to depose him, to kill him. And the pharaoh, of course, gets word of this. This is Apries is the pharaoh. And there's a general named Amasis, A-M-A-S-I-S, who at the time was a friend of the pharaoh's, whom all the army of Egypt respected, for whatever reason. The reason I'm telling you this story is because pretty soon we're going to be setting off against Egypt, and I thought it was kind of a funny story. So there's Apries the pharaoh, there's Amasis the general, who's a friend of the pharaoh's and is well respected by the military. So Apries the pharaoh tells Amasis, he says, hey, look, dude, this army is on its way back to Egypt to kill me. They want to depose me. I'm sending you out to meet them, to head them off, and try to convince them that they don't want to do this. This is a bad idea. So go out there and convince them, right? So that's what he tells the general. That's what the pharaoh tells the general. So Amasis rides out to meet this army, and he tries to convince the army that they should not be rebelling against the king, the pharaoh, when a soldier walks up behind him while he's standing on this dais addressing the legion, army, and this soldier puts a helmet on his head, and when he does it, he says, "This helmet is the crown. I declare you pharaoh. I declare you king." And the whole army is like, yeah! And they scream, So here's Amasis. He went out there to try to dissuade them from rebelling against the king, and they stick a hat on his head and say, "You're the king now." And he's like, fuck. So according to Herodotus, Amasis didn't really protest that much. Herodotus kind of, almost no longer Sophia's ally. Yeah, that doesn't really bother me that much. I just use him for the World Congress. Herodotus says that Amasis didn't actually protest that much, and so Herodotus kind of makes it sound like maybe Amasis wanted to become pharaoh, so he was okay with it when they crowned him. So maybe he didn't actually go to visit the army with any intention of convincing them not to rebel against the king. But anyway, so now the army continues marching into Egypt to depose the pharaoh, and Amasis is now leading the army. So now the pharaoh is crapping his pants, right? He's like, oh shit. The guy I sent out there to tell him to knock it off is now leading them. So, I'll start reading now word for word from Herodotus. And please bear with me. I know that I'm stopping the gameplay, but this is a really funny story. I want you guys to hear it. Apries, the pharaoh, hearing that the army was rebelling, hearing that Amasis had now taken over the army and was marching against him, sent to Amasis, the general, one of the Egyptians who was close to him, a man of reputation, whose name was Patarbemis, enjoining Patarbemis to bring Amasis alive into the Pharaoh's presence. When Patarbemis came and summoned Amasis, the latter, who happened to be sitting on horseback, lifted up his leg and farted, bidding him take that back to the Pharaoh. So, you have to understand, I'm reading this on the bus, right? And the first 130 pages of this book have been dry historical information, which is interesting to me, but is not all that entertaining. And then here, on page 134, as I'm reading about this little conflagration in Egypt, suddenly I see a fart joke that this, 2,500-year-old Greek is telling me. I laughed on the bus and people thought I was crazy, I'm sure. But, okay. So that was the story. I'm sorry, that took a long time to tell, but I wanted to set it up properly because I think it's really funny. And I don't know, it's great to think that the fart joke goes back that far in history as a funny thing. That a general would be sitting on a horse and be like, take that back to Pharaoh. So anyway, epilogue to that story, Amasis ended up taking the army back and kicking the Pharaoh's ass and killing him, and took over as Pharaoh. And apparently he did pretty well as Pharaoh, except he was a little indulgent, and his son, as a result, kind of grew up to be a shithead. And when his son took over the kingship on Amasis' death, he drove Egypt into the ground, apparently. So Amasis was a good king, not so much a good father, and the result was his son was a shitty king, which you could blame on Amasis as much as you want to, I guess. Anyway, Saturday has finished their factory, and we were going to use this to build a navy. This and Athens were going to be our navy ships. Maybe we should build a cargo ship, because we have 3 open trade routes that we need to use up. So let's do that. And then we'll build like a barracks. We'll build the XP buildings, and then we'll get to the navy building. Artillery, where did this come from? Was this gifted to me and I didn't even notice it? Okay, well, let's move you there. Let's put you there. I really don't know what else to do with you, so. Next! 491. Okay. Okay, worker. This is a railroad, that's a railroad, that's a railroad. Good. Well done. You come down, say, here. Start building the railroad that guy is not going to be building because he's working to here. And you build the railroad to there. Got all my workers going on railroads. Let's go. What are you doing? You're not doing anything, are you? Damn it. Build the railroad. Neuschwanstein, 13 turns left. Workshop, 11 turns there. We'll get oil in 10 turns, or we'll know where it is anyway. Seaport in 7 turns in Athens. Public school in 3 turns in Sparta. 3 turns for university in Argos. We still haven't... I guess we should annex Argos, right? We got 17 happiness now. Our golden age ends in 1 turn. We got 1,000 gold. We got a shitload of faith. Oh god, okay. Yeah. Annex. Takes us down to 10, that's fine. Okay, so what are you doing with your citizens? I'm okay with that. It's fine. Building university. What buildings do you have? Not a lot. We got some ways to go yet. Can I buy a pagoda here? I can. Boom! And then how much to purchase of... Okay, great profit 1,200. Okay, so I have a little ways to go yet before I can get a great profit. But that's good. Pagoda there, that'll increase the happiness and the whatever else, culture and stuff. Okay, moving on. 1901 AD. Good grief, it's the 20th century already. Well, I say already, but this has been a long LP, so... It's the 20th century. Finally, I should say. But yeah, that Herodotus Egyptian story, that got me. I liked it.